Coach, just talk about how did this past week go, and just in general how the weekend went for you.
Well, I mean, obviously it went well for us. I mean, anytime you win a football game 56-0, things went well. I mean, it was what we wanted in that first game. Opponent with Texas College, easy trip for us. Took us 3 hours to get down there. The weather was great. An opponent we felt good about us being able to beat, and not trying to downplay them at all. I mean, because they had some good athletes on their football team, but we needed something to get our feet on the ground a little bit, get out. You've been practicing for 4 weeks and you hadn't hit anybody but yourself, and you get that opportunity to get out on the field and play somebody else, and all the little game situations that come up that you think you've prepared for in practice, but they slip by, and we were able to get a lot of those situations out of the first game, and had a lot of good individual performances in the football game. So we were excited the way it went down.
You just spoke about those individual performances. Just talk about what players stood out to you and what they did well.
I mean, if I'm a fan up in the stands, first one's going to stick out to me is Ralph Thomas. I mean, the guy caught 3 touchdown passes, and they were acrobatic. I mean, the first touchdown pass he caught down our sideline. I don't know. I can put it in slow-mo and don't know how he caught it, because he caught it one-handed with a guy all over him. Obviously, to get that ball to him, it's got to come from the quarterback, Tyler. Made some nice throws. Our offensive line, we expected to go in and control the line of scrimmage of the ball on both sides, and we did. I really thought Mark Johnson had a very solid game, and we got production out of all of our backs. Aaron Jones and Devon Alexander all played, all made yards, so that was very positive. We were young at receiver and had some young receivers step up. Chris Terry caught a long touchdown pass and got behind the secondary, and they couldn't catch him. That was all very good. So it was overall good for us. I mean, we're expecting to get a couple more players back this week at wide receiver that we didn't have with us. So, from an offensive side, those guys really played well. Defensively, I mean, obviously they didn't score any points, so that's good. Mark Spade, I think, had an outstanding game. Sam Cowling stuck out to me quite a bit. We need to shore up a couple of little things with our containment from our defensive ends. Our secondary was very solid. They couldn't throw the ball at Don. We made really 2 slip-ups in the secondary the whole day. And those are things that, from a coaching standpoint, when you win 56-0 and you make mistakes, you're able to go back and correct, and gives you something besides practice. And that's going to be the beauty of it.
And you just touched on that about you do have some things to work on, but you did beat a team 56-0. So talk about what those things what the things are that you need to work on in the coming week.
Well, obviously, if you watch the game Saturday, we did put the ball on the ground a little bit too much offensively. Had a missed handoff. We missed a pitch on an option play that was there for us. So that's just little concentration things. Tyler got the ball knocked out of his hand one time on a fake when he was fixing to throw it. Those can't happen. We got to shore up our snaps a little bit. There, quarterbacks having to reach all over the place to get them. But from an offensive standpoint, those were really the glaring things that stuck out. We got a couple offsides called on our defensive line. Again, we did have a situation where a D-back came up when the quarterback started scrambling. He's the deep coverage guy. That's not something you can't do. In our kicking game, we were able to block a couple kicks, got a touchdown out of it. That's positive. But on the other hand, we did have an offsides, and I'm sure there were some little subtle blocking things we got to get shored up. Obviously, coaching's ongoing always, and you never can be satisfied, because guys, they're either going to get better or they're going to get worse. They're not going to stay the same. So we got to just continue coaching the fundamental things that you got to do well to be a good football team, and so far so good with that.
Okay, and just talk about your next opponent coming up this weekend and what your outlook is for that game.
Well, all coaches want to have a positive outlook, and we do. And Southeast Oklahoma is a very capable opponent. I mean, they had a very impressive win against A&M Commerce, their first game, 31-6, I believe that was the score. And they from a football team, as we evaluate them around their team, their offensive line is very similar to ours in a lot of aspects. So we kind of give that a push right there. Their quarterback's very athletic, can run. That always scares you. The good news is we played a guy like that last week, and we did pretty well with it. They got a really good-looking running back in the Kirk kid. Their receiving core can run. So they present a lot of problems. They got an All-American tight end that is, I don't know why he's at Southeast Oklahoma, actually. I mean, he's a big-time player. And, from a defensive standpoint, they're very solid, very sound in what they do. And, they can present a lot of problems to you if you don't execute. So, we're looking forward to the opportunity to go down and play Southeast. And it came up here and got one on us with about 16 seconds on the clock last year, which really was a thorn in our side all year, really hurt. So, it should be a great football game. Hopefully we get some fans to go over like we did to Tyler. We had a nice following down at Tyler this last weekend. Hopefully we can get some more to go over this week. And, if our guys play up to capability, then it'll be a very interesting game.